Kintsugi Koko, back at it again. Welcome to my quirky, eclectic vlog. Pardon the frog in my throat. This cold air has got my lips dry, my throat dry, my sinuses are like, lady! Needless to say, we are ready for this holiday coming up. And today is day 12 of our Lessons to Blessings of our Greatfull series. And one thing for sure is what today's lesson to blessing is going to be about, which is how you present yourself and carry yourself in this world. I used to think how you proved yourself, like as far as what you could do for others, was your big flyer for who you are as a person, right? And I learned very quickly that yes, that can be true. However, it also boils down to how you carry yourself, how you feel about yourself, and how you treat the other people around you, right? How you treat those you can't benefit from reveals eons and eons about who you are as a person. And that is one of those things, us humans, spiritual beings, living this human life, we have our sixth sense, in a sense, where we can pick up on this. And itchy, scratchy. We pick up on this easily. So how you treat small children, how you treat elders, how you treat animals, how you treat anyone, anything that you don't directly benefit from shows a lot about who you are as a person and a lot about how you feel about yourself and your relationship with yourself and with the divine, if you will. And for the longest time, I thought it was just how I treated others would show how I am as a person. But I was lacking in the front of how I was treating myself, because I came from a background where self-love and self-proprietary was put on the back burner because that was selfish and that was not operating as like a servant of the Lord in a sense, you know what I mean? And it was very difficult to rewire that part of my brain, for sure. A lot of times I felt like I was being selfish and that I wasn't being considerate of the world around me. However, by doing what I was doing, by being selfish, was actually mending and loving on myself. And in return, it was mending and loving on the areas around me as well. So much, I don't think people understand to the fullest extent of how you treat yourself literally is reflected in the world around you. So people, and obviously some things in some situations are kind of out of our hands and out of our control in that sense. But if you keep noticing, like you keep coming across a specific type of pattern or a specific type of experience, that might be something that you're internally struggling with, and it's like trying to wake you up to it, make you more aware of it, make you question, hey, does that go on inside of me? Am I doing that to myself? Because when you do that and you bring that to an awareness and you show it empathy and compassion and love and understanding, I'm not saying change it. I'm saying make it known, because everyone has what makes us us, and there is no good and bad. It is subjective, 100% subjective to a person's experience, their background, and all this other stuff. So, in turn, good and bad doesn't exist. It is what is it? What's good for the goose is bad for the gander is one of the phrases, and even what's chaos to the fly is satiation to the spider, right? So there is no good and bad because it is all cyclical. It what goes around comes around kind of deal, but also it's what you have and the inside of you is going to be reflected in the world around you. Just like how I view the world and how I see the world is completely different than how my son does. Even though we and his entire life has been around me, so you would think, normal people think that, oh, they see life and experience life how I see it. No, not the case, because his childhood is under you, whereas your childhood was under your parents. And that is different childhoods, right? And it goes so much more beyond like the advancement of like technology and the internet. Well, technology, the internet is technology, but how friends operate and socialize with each other nowadays is completely different than even when I was just a kid. And that's even completely different than when my mother was a kid, you know? And that affects, molds, creates the world around us. So once I kind of figured out, oh, okay, how I love on myself and feel about myself, and how I take care of myself and maneuver within the world, that in itself shows who I am as a person. Last night we went roller skating downtown in the town I live in, and it was so much fun. We were there 5 hours, 5.5 hours. I skated the whole time too, roller skating. So, well, an exception of attempting to eat for about 20 to 30 minutes. But I had so much adrenaline in my body to skate, I couldn't eat. Shoo! We ate a little bit of food just to refuel our tank. And then we were skating. We're having fun with it too. And we're being very playful and childlike and having a good time. We fell a few times, but we spun around and got right back up. And anytime someone else fell, we were attempting to help them up. And a lot of the kids that were skating around were, oh my gosh, how long have you been skating? Can you give me lessons? I'm like, I started when I was your age, you guys. Like, keep going at it. Keep practicing and you'll get like me one day. And I'm not even really that good. I'm not afraid of falling, because for me, that builds your bodies. One thing that I learned as an adult that I thought was super flippin' cool is from like a scientist perspective. Pardon me. The human body doesn't know how to walk. It doesn't know how to run. That is all your body's way of strategically falling. And yet everyone is terrified of falling. And it makes no sense. Like, literally walking is falling to your body. So if you tell your body it's okay to walk, but it's not okay to fall, you're going to send cross signals to your brain, right? And so every time a kid fell and I seen them and they kind of like looked embarrassed, everyone falls. I fall. I just fell 5-10 minutes ago. And it's not about how you fall, it's about how you get back up, right? And the more you do it and the more you fall, the more your body is going to build an ability to, oh, I recognize this pattern of movement. Let me brace myself this way. Let me brace myself that way. There's been so many times where I went to go fall, like face plant fall. My body, I let it take control because I was falling into it. Never try to catch yourself if you're falling, by the way. Fall into it. But not like flop on the ground. I'm not saying that. But trust the fall. As you're falling, don't try to constrict and fight it. Like, go with it. I did that and I no, not pureed. That's not even the right word anymore. I'm saying it correct in my head, but it's not coming out correct in my mouth. I did a beautiful spin And that was when I was ice skating. And it was the first spin I ever did ice skating. And I was a grown ass woman and I was not expecting it to happen. I was like, wait, what just happened? And like last night, I went to go stop and I was about to crash into a kiddo and I was trying to avoid crashing into the kid. And I did a spin on roller skates, like the 2 and 2, not the roller blades, a roller skate. And that was the first time I'd ever done that. I did like 2 or 3 times last night, just trying to avoid hurting somebody else, but then trusting my fall, like allowing that I could fall and I would catch myself. It's the trusting in yourself that you could catch yourself. That is what it is. And the more you build that trust, the more you build that rapport and that relationship with your body and just like, you got me. I know you got me. Man, magical things happen. And it is so much fun. I literally, I think that's why my sinuses are a little bit inflamed today. We were skating for so long, like my hands were swollen. I definitely came home and took like a really, or it was brief, but a really hot, very relaxing bath just to relax my body. Thank it for giving me one heck of a day because yesterday was amazing. I had fun all flipping day and I met incredible people that I am so thankful, grateful, blessed that got placed on my path. And it just, amazing things like that happen when you just, first of all, carry yourself with that I am who I am, and that is enough. I say that all the time to myself. I am as I am, and that is enough. And the amount of confidence that rewires in your brain and in your body, it literally wafts and reverberates off of you, interacting with everyone around you without you even being aware. I was in my own little world last night, just grooving and dancing and skating and just moving, just trying not to run kids over and just having a good time. And the amount of times that people stop, I had two people ask for my Instagram so we could stay in touch and like interact more. I had a couple kids that were like, can you teach me? Can you give me lessons? So I was giving them some pointers. Even my own like kid, he started out really like stiff and rigid and like nervous. By the end of the night, that dude was cruising and moving and flowing, and it was just so beautiful. And even a lot of the kids, too, that were there. When they first started, they were very nervous and timid, but every time I would see them, I'd give them, like, a little smile and give them thumbs up. Like, if they fell, I'm like, oh, that was a cool landing, dude. That was awesome. And, switching their mindset, and just, that's how I look at it is, I didn't fall, I just really interestingly landed, right? Like there was a few times I was trying to do tricks I've never done on skates before and I biffed it. But then I just kind of like spun it around and got right back up and just kept going. And so absolutely how you carry yourself and present yourself to the world not only makes you feel good and just has you vibing and going with your own little frequency, vibration, groove, it affects everyone around you. And they feel it, and then they feel inspired, and they love it. And somebody who came up to me was like, you're such a ray of sunshine. I was like, thank you. I'm just out here having a good time being a big old kid. But thank you. Y'all, that's really what it's all about. Like, we're just meant to be living life, having a good time. And who cares what anyone else thinks, first of all and foremost. And as Dr. Seuss likes to say, and I know I've mentioned it at least once before, those who mind do not matter. And those who matter don't mind, right? Those who mind don't matter, those who matter don't mind. Meaning the people who matter in your life aren't going to be bothered by what you're doing. Whereas the people who are bothered by what you're doing, they shouldn't matter to you. Because that is a reflection of how they feel about themselves, first and foremost. Everyone is tattletaling on themselves. And if you listen really closely and you pay close attention, you catch it. And the more you learn and understand how people are projecting onto you, the easier your life will get. Because you're like, oh, that person's just really sad. Oh, that person's just lacking love. Oh, like you see it for what it is, and you don't see it as an attack on you because like, Okay, I'm not meant to be like that. So what? My entire life, I've always, you're not like this. Yeah, no, I'm not. I am like, mwah, and I don't intend on being anyone else. I love y'all big much, and I will talk to y'all later. Toodaloo!